Hi Vinesh. Hi
Hello.
Muskan. Hi Thomas.
Hi.
Hello.
How is everyone doing? Hi Dwipal.
Hello, Dupal.
Hi, Vinesh. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. आप कैसे? How are you?
I'm very well. Thank you so much. It's been long we haven't met.
Yeah.
Good. I was on a vacation. I guess you were on vacation also, right?
Yeah. I was on vacation.
Great. So yeah, Vinesh who introduced me to you, Padmaja.
Yeah,
I was just speaking with him today. That thanks so much for this introduction and how this came up. We never knew that this could happen.
yeah. He talked to me about it that you are like having a lot of knowledge in this whole industry, and let's say not just from the whole design industry perspective, but let's say a lot of from everything about business, sales, and everything. So that is like a good value addition, na, which would be for everyone, even
Yeah.
the participants, even for us and everyone.
Yeah. So more than books is like experience teaches a lot.
Yeah.
So I've been into market from last 15 years, and I was first earlier I was just selling agency to agency, and then it started differently.
Yeah. I think we're still like waiting for a lot of people to join. We're like still way ahead of time right now. So we'll just wait for everyone
Yeah,
to join.
that's completely fine. That's completely fine.
Hi,
You're
Bhumika.
still in office. You're still in office.
Yeah, I came to office for this because home is home. Like you have disturbance, so it's better to be in the office because of so our production runs 24 hours.
Hmm.
Monday to Saturday. So the team is there, but all the admin and sales team persons are those are not here as of now. So it's just me. So this is always a better place.
Definitely.
Hi, Mishti.
Hello.
Yeah, we've had like a good registration and even the turnout. So just excited for everyone to join in. We have like people who are students who are already in the design or packaging or printing profession. There are some people who are maybe just like in school right now who just want to know all about all of these things. So we have a good diversity.
I'm sure. I'm pretty excited. So because I feel from last 2 3 years the kind of requirement of the packaging and as the industry growing as India is growing, it's gonna be very huge. What we have seen right now is just right now it's a peanut because as a production hub like China, we could never become China, but yeah, if we even become a 30% or 50% of that size, there'd be a lot of requirements. I mean, huge requirements.
Yeah, like a lot of new developments, opportunities, and there are like so many things at the scale also at where everything is expanding. So
Mm.
it's very good to know about all of that.
Absolutely, and even I would say in this space, Gujarat is becoming the hub for a lot of manufacturing facility. So, and specifically because of the Gujarat has good port, Kandla port. A lot of manufacturing hub, specifically for the paper, is coming towards wood side and cut side. So, lot of packaging industry setting up a plant over here. And in manufacturing, I meet a lot of people across India, a lot of manufacturing companies. As a manufacturer, if you do not have a manufacturing plant in Gujarat, then that's not a manufacturing unit for you. So multi-state, the Gujarat is a must place for a lot of manufacturing units to be in.
Yeah, I'm very excited for this event.
Yeah.
Yeah, so everyone who's just joined in, we're just waiting for a lot of other folks to join since I think we are all the early birds here. We are all the people who go to restaurants early or even like to plan a lot. So I think we are all those kind of people here. So I think meanwhile people are joining in, we could play like a few icebreakers. So I think since it's almost like a dinner time, so since most of us would be designers here, let's say what's your go-to snack when you think about, or maybe you have to pull like an overnighter and you just want to design and just snack on something. What's your go-to snack? Mine is popcorn. That's a question for everyone. Like you can unmute yourselves, you can drop in the chat or anything.
I would prefer peanuts.
Nice. Danish says bakarwadi. Very local taste. Nice. Cool. Other people?
I
Anyone else?
think Maggie is something that is a go-to snack.
Yeah, that's like a lot. I feel that's like a hostel thing as well. When you want to do something and it's like 2 a.m., what do you do? Cool. There are different inputs also. Like Jill says blue lays, Suchi is roasted chana and peanuts. Curd, That is something different.
Yeah, from childhood. Poha with curd and little bit of sugar.
Ah, nice. Yeah. I think we all are like very as a savory kind of people, like tasting around different things. Cool. So the next question which I have is, would you rather have, let's say, very tight deadlines or a space of unlimited revisions for any project which you're working on?
Right deadlines.
Deadlines.
Tight deadlines. Why
Tight-
so?
Otherwise, the project would never get done.
We know ourselves, right? We always want to improve, make it perfect, but then is there a perfection in anything which we do? Like anything which could be improved, right? All the time. So yep. I think most of us we are going towards the tight deadline. Cool. So since most of us are also in this whole domain, let's say what is one of the tool or anything which you can't design without, which you always have by your side or you need it someplace or the other.
Pen and paper.
Illustrator. Adobe.
Adobe Photoshop. Nice. Then what else? Pen and paper. Pen and paper. Cool. I think a lot of towards the digital medium, but like physical medium, is that growing low or what? Like any inputs about that from anyone? How many of you sketch something out before going to a digital medium? Like honestly.
Yeah, I sketch a lot.
A lot of creative people would be doing a lot.
Yeah. That is one of our things, right? Like we can't live without a pen and paper.
Yes.
Always.
Even if you are just like making a list or just like in a bus or anything, right? You need a pen and paper. Cool. I think since a lot of people are into the digital space, so one quick question: are you team print or team digital? Which one
Print.
would it be?
Print.
Okay, let's check the vote. Kitne? How many are for team print and how many are for team digital? We have team digital, both. Okay, anyone for print? Print. Yagnesh is print. There are people who are both. Nice. Good. Now we are seeing a good balance between team print and team digital. Some of them are also both. Nice. Cool. Another question is, since we are already talking about packaging, right? So what's one of the favorite packaging which you have come across recently? Any packaging which anyone would just like to share or maybe talk about, or any examples? Akshay says slice card. What is that? Slice card? He says Tipsy Beauty has a really nice box of perfumes. Nice. Cool. Other people, what do you feel? One of the very good packaging design which you have just come across recently. You have a kind of credit card. Okay. Then Thomas has shared a link. Danesh mentions salt oral care. Is that like a toothpaste or something? Nice. Sabko coffee. Yes. Good. I kind of see a good correlation between different aspects. It's like a lot of premium brands, a lot of food products, a lot of different consumer care items. So that is a good space. You are all in for a very good event. I always see. Nice. Cool. We'll just wait for a minute or two for a few more people to join and then we can start. So meanwhile, what we'll do is we'll just start with a small bit of introductions first. So hi everyone, welcome to our Evolve webinars. This is something which we do once in every 2 months and we gather here, obviously virtually for now, and kind of hit pause on all of our deadlines, projects and everything which we are doing, and kind of just dive into all the fun, insightful projects. It could be anything, a pet project, something which you learn new, or just have like a wonderful conversation about design and creativity. So this kind of started very as a casual internal learning here at Paperclip Design, and it is now grown into something very big. So it's more of in a way for us to learn, share, and even give back to our design community, which kind of also inspires us every day and we get to meet a lot of new people. So we're just happy that you are a part of this on that too on a Thursday night at 9 p.m. Kudos to everyone. And a little bit about our speaker for today. So we have Dwipal. He also has 15 years of experience and even much more than that. So he leads the sales and development at Shree Printwell Offset, and which is one of Gujarat's leading names in offset printing and even packaging design. So it's not just about packaging design from him. his expertise is kind of not just in a technical area, but even he has a good amount of experience in business, sales, and even bringing it to the real world perspective. So I'll just hand up the stage to him, and yeah, Pipal, you can take it forward.
Thank you so much, Padmaja, for this introduction. I'm really thankful to Vanish and to you also, who has just brought me this dais for at least introducing myself over here. And I try to help and add more value about printing and paper and everything. Since Padmaja, you start a very nice note, whether you're team print or team digital. I feel most of the people are team digital right now, but people will always to
Yeah.
get more space in their mind. They will definitely come to team print because there's a lot of space. The paper give you a lot of space. Digital is getting improved, but if you see books, textbooks, those are increasing day by day. The printing of books and everything that is increasing. I'll just start off with my presentation over here. I'll just share my screen. Yeah, so we'll start off with the printing. So that's all about me. Whenever I get a chance to introduce myself, I always say one line that I can print everything on paper except currency. So currency printing, that is something which I don't do. Otherwise, I can print many things on paper, but we are very focused towards certain industry where print is growing. So like mono cartons, paper bags, packaging, rigid boxes, where printing is a die-hard need. Without printing, those products or services are not selling. Those kind of areas we always keep our foot in, and we always market our company to those kind of customers only. So let's set the agenda for next 1 hour, that what we are going to discuss here. We'll introduce you, we'll go through the different kind of printing industries which does exist right now in the market. We'll discuss design, how the design and printing is so related that both are just two sides of the coin. Without design, print cannot exist. The third, packaging journey, packaging design journey. We'll talk about 9 packaging steps, packaging development step for any kind of product, whether it's a medicine, it's a any electronic gadget or anything. We'll discuss what are those 9 steps are involved. We'll discuss about in current trend, if the consumer, looking at the current consumer mindset, what people are looking for in packaging. So we'll talk about those trends, paper packaging industry, pros and cons, why it's growing, what things to take care, what is, if someone has an aspiration to be in the industry, whether they wanted to get employed first and then later on they want to start business. We'll discuss about those pros and cons. This 6, and if time allows, then what are things which we need to take care when you design any print file, because daily we interact with lot many designers. One from Monday to Saturday, I at least interact with the 5 to 6 professional designers who runs an agency, whether it's a mid-size, small size, or large size agency, but they work into multiple industries. Like maybe someone is from melamine, someone is from consumer goods, someone is from food industry. So we get along with lot many print jobs from different industries, and try to share those experiences with you. Before I just wanted to start, I need an input from you guys, that what industry you guys belong to. At least I'll try to narrate an entire presentation in such a way that you are a designer, you work for agency, you are working in any specific industry. I just need, if you can type in, it would be much more better. At least it will help me to give more insight on specific things. Will it be possible? Someone is in marketing. Thank you, Jill. Brand design, sports, tech industry, great. Branding, print design, automobiles. Okay, great. Web developments. Okay, so cool. I'm just sharing my screen. A lot of people are from the designing and marketing background. Someone is in comic. Okay, I'll just share my screen one more time. Okay, it's already shared. Padmaja, we are good?
Yeah, we are good.
Okay. So let's one question, that print is dying. There are a lot of, I heard that print is dying, print is not growing. Whether it's true or not, what I think, how print is dying. So I I segregate print into multiple sections, but first two sections are more important is commercial printing and the packaging. What we consider commercial printing, it's all about marketing stuff, whether it's a brochure, catalogs, or a poster, or some communication material. On those segments, if you say the commercial printing, print is dying for sure in those aspects, where specifically, if any printing stuff has a one-time use and after that it's a no use, those prints are getting out of, let's say, checkbooks, let's say your electricity bill, your mobile bill, your credit card statements, those were earlier coming to you and now it's not coming. So print is dying, but those section only where it has just one-time use or very small scale use. So even in that case, newspaper also comes into those kind of aspect, those kind of product line. But when we talk about packaging, paper packaging, it is growing like anything. And why it's growing? Because of multiple reasons, but the primary reason across the world, if you wanted to save the environment, you need to reduce the use of plastic. And to reduce the plastic, the alternate solution for the packaging is just paper only. So the packaging industry across India or across the Asia Pacific region, it is going at 18 to 20% per annum, which is a huge growth and it's going to be for next many years. So let's talk about what you see right now on the screen are different machines. So this is it's an offset machine, the HP, in the center one, it's a digital printing machine. This probably all the machines cover the 95 to 97% of the printing industry. So whether you wanted to print box, brochure, or maybe lace packaging, or maybe any chips packaging, chocolate packaging, or a newspaper, or a magazine, or a textbook, everything gets covered, gets printed to this 5 kind of different industry. And these are just not 5 machines. This all together are different industry, completely different industry. So one company cannot, ideally right now, does not have all the machines because it has different industry to cater to. Let's go through it one by one. So let's understand the offset printing. Generally, offset printing is mainly for the sheet printing on paper as well as on plastic. And when you say plastic, up to 130 micron plus thickness. So we cannot print all kind of plastic in offset printing, but majorly 90% of the paper we print in offset and then few of the plastic. It's mainly commercial market, catalogs, brochures, books, then monocart. In packaging side, we have monocartons, rigid boxes, display boxes, or corrugation boxes. These are the products line which you can cater with the offset printing. We'll talk about this offset digital printing. Now, this is the one machine. So this is from the machine which you see on the screen right now. It's from the HP Hewlett-Packard. And this is one of the world's best digital printing machines. So if you go to any next door copier center or printer, they have one small digital size machine where you can print one A3 sheet. That is also a digital machine, but that's very starting range. And this is the most advanced one. So digital machine, you can do the same kind of product lines, what you can do in the offset printing. So whether paper packaging, but what's the advantage of digital printing? It's mainly for the short run. So when I say short run, the number of where you wanted to print less than 150 or 100 number of copies, then people should opt for digital printing, not offset printing. So people are always confused whether I should go for digital printing, I should go for offset printing. There are a lot of reasons, there are a lot of ways to identify which printing to go for, but for short run quantities, you should always opt for digital printing. And digital printing just cannot print paper, it can also print plastic also. So whether it comes in sheet form, it can come into roll form also. And since from last post-COVID year, you see a lot of starters has came in, a lot of companies who from fashion industry, from cosmetic industry, they have started. And those kind of startups need very short run. They do not need 5,000 or 50,000 boxes, or maybe a sleeve, or maybe a plastic packaging. They want to try and test their products. They want to check whether how my product is going. But in those 500 batch, agencies and brand owners wanted to have the completely amazing experience of the packaging. They should opt for this digital printing and all kind of, whether you want to have pouches or any fair and lovely tube. Those kind of tubes are also possible now with digital printing. Signages, you go to any mall or you drive outside and you see hoardings within the mall. You see in-store branding, posters, those everything gets covered into signage printing. Whether you want to print a photo frame on your wall or any canvas printed photo, any leaflet. So if you wanted to print anything on the 1-inch thick board or paper, or maybe some PVC material, this signage digital printing takes care of that entire range. Then we have flexo and gravure printing. So you go to any kirana shop or retail shop and you buy lace and all the plastic packaging, which is a very thin micron. So lace packaging, maybe some soji and maida, those corn flour packaging, any label packaging, tea packaging. So those all covers into flexo and gravure printing packaging line. So it's again a huge industry. It's mainly a food and items which is prime. So flexo and gravure packaging mainly comes for the primary packaging. When I say primary packaging, it's that this materials directly get in contact with the food. So it's a very hygienic industry and has to take care of lot many things. And the last is the web offset. So all the newspaper which comes to your doorstep, or maybe earlier it was coming to your doorstep, those all are getting printed on the web offset. All the textbooks which are very huge in volume, like 50,000 plus in quantity, those all books gets printed into web offset. Now, this web offset industry is not so growing industry. Textbook volumes have decreased because of the change in every year curriculum and a lot of things. And newspaper has also decreased post-COVID era. Now let's think about design and print. Okay, how design and print are related. There are a lot of things. So let's say design. Let's say there are 100 designers. Okay, out of those 100 designers, they are designing for lot many things. So few are designing for web and social media. Few are designing for packaging, branding, and 15% is branding and 20% is the print and outdoor. Now this is the segregation of designs. So let's say a lot of design getting generated on daily basis. Out of them, 50% is going to the web and social media. 15% goes for packaging, 15% goes for branding, and 20% goes for print and outdoor, maybe hoardings. When we say branding, it's exhibitions or maybe some event branding. So different things it caters to. Now the question is, I'll just stop the presentation. Where designers gets more value? So where designers get more value, in which segment of this, whether it's packaging, branding, or print outdoor, or web or social media, you're designing for Facebook or Instagram or some marketing over, where designer gets more monetization, or where they can add more value and why. I just want to know the answers from everyone, if everyone can share.
Yeah, Rohit mentions social media. So he started with social media first. That's one of the top first answers.
Okay, social media one. What about the others?
Then Dribble, which is also a digital medium. Then Shrishti mentions brochures and catalogs, which is more like a print media.
Print media.
Yeah. I think Dwipal, if you can repeat the question for Ujjal.
Yeah. So what I repeat for everyone. So I wanted to know where designer gets more value. Okay, where designer can charge more or ask more premium, whether web and social media, in packaging segment, branding or other stuff, or in print and outdoor. So where designers get more value in terms of money and also for work. Branding.
Packaging and branding. Yeah, now it's come, like now the answers are changed.
Yeah, so packaging and branding, someone is talking, yeah. So now let's have one more question on this. So branding is an activity which go and which covers a lot of platform. So that covers print, that covers online also, that covers offline also. Okay. Now, we wanted to know. So I wanted to know specifically that where constant word designers can get the web or social media branding, in which segment they get the continuous workflow. Web.
UX, UI, social media, outdoor and social media.
Okay. So now one more last question then. Printing and SM, some Srishti is talking packaging. Great. So when a market have going into downfall, or it is not going so good for any particular industry, okay, where any company would cut costs first, and the recession time, where companies would cut the cost, right? So
Social media marketing, outdoor
yeah,
marketing.
great. So so probably I feel that lot many people who are right now over here has not touched upon the packaging much. Okay, I could correct me if I'm wrong, like because people are not aware of what packaging is right now and where it is going. I'll just give you a brief. If majority of the people are from India, and I don't know which state you guys belong to, but let's break it down to the Gujarat perspective, okay, or where the industry's perspective. So Gujarat is a #1 state for pharma manufacturing. So India's largest manufacturer pharma hub is Gujarat. Gujarat is the largest hub for the textile also. Gujarat is the largest hub for diamond also. Ceramic industry, ceramic manufacturing is the largest hub again for Gujarat, Morbi. If you say laminate industry, again Gujarat is the largest hub. And in food industry, we are the second largest, I feel, if I'm not wrong. Now let's say paper packaging or any kind of packaging is required, is the compulsory for lot many industries. Which kind of industries we cover here. Let's say pharma. You go and buy medicine. You cannot get medicine if you're buying a bottle. It need to have a box. Any FMCG, food. Okay. You go and electronic packaging. So you go buy an iPhone or any speaker or a Bluetooth device. Everything just cannot sell without packaging. So when a recession comes, people can cut down their cost on the marketing. People can cut down their cost on the events. Companies can cut down cost on different aspect where they are just marketing themselves, but they cannot cut cost on the packaging. So products does not sell without packaging. So packaging is the one constant streamline with this vertical where you get continuous business. And once you have a taste of the packaging business or packaging design, you just cannot think of going to other verticals. So why? So whenever company decides to have any agency for their packaging or social media, for social media, it is very easy for many manufacturing companies to change the agency. Okay, people right now this year they have a contract with X agency. Next year they will change it with the different agency. They keep changing industry, but in packaging they cannot do that. Why? Because once any agency knows about that, what are the regulations in the packaging industry, specifically for the food, specifically for the electronics, agency know that what things put where. There are some guidelines and regulation. There are some development which need to take care while designing the packaging. So otherwise your product cannot go to the market. So let's say I know one agency over here which is in Ahmedabad, and they do lot for the Fortune oil. Now Adani has a contract from last many years with them, and they cannot change that agency. They can do a lot of marketing. They change marketing agency, but the packaging agency they cannot change. So if you just get a taste of packaging market, it's gonna be it's amazing. You just need to let's discuss why it's growing. And yeah, I just share the presentation. So I was just giving brief, but let's talk about numbers. So average growth of paper packaging and flexible packaging is 18% across India, and this is true for the Asian Pacific region also. And this covers everything, whether it's a flexible packaging, whether it's a paper packaging, monocoque, rigid boxes. 18% growth is there. As e-commerce industry is growing, this market going to grow like anything, because we have a habit of ordering everything from our application, whether it's a Blinkit, Amazon, or Flipkart, but we order and we receive in paper bags, corrugation box, or plastic bag. Okay, plastic bags going to go away, but as e-commerce going, this going to grow. And Indian right now in India market, 60% or 60% or 50% people doesn't have access to a good internet. So still we are not reached there. As luxury product market grows, packaging will grow. I'll just give you a simple example right now from automobile industry. There's one person who is from automobile. If you, I've read it in newspaper and somewhere in April or May that in India, BMW and Mercedes has more growth in terms of the percentage rather than Maruti and Hyundai. So this low segment car doesn't have growth right now. It's a all premium market which is growing in India as of now. Let's you just Google this one, that food packaging. So Swiggy and Zomato, they are expecting to grow 20% on year basis till next 5 to 10 years. So as of now, what we are, we have a habit of ordering something maybe once or twice in a week from Swiggy or Zomato. That's going to grow like anything. And if 20%, maybe we are ordering 1 or 2 times in a week. Next year, we might be ordering 3 to 4 times. So that's, and whatever food we receive, it's right now it's coming into plastic packaging. But if you wanted to save the environment, those plastics going to go away. That's going to come into you soon you will receive those brown paper boxes or brown boxes food packaging, which is made of paper and that will deliver food to you. And there won't be any spillage of the food also. So plastic is going to go away. To save the environment, we need to have a use of paper very soon, and government is changing drastically and they are very aggressive in this paper packaging vertical. And one more important thing is packaging, as we mentioned, that packaging work stays consistent with minimal design or agency change even during recession. The companies, whenever, if there are, it's in this right now, it's a VUCA world. Like there's a lot of war is happening within India, Pakistan, Israel, or there are a lot of dynamics which is changes on daily basis. And when this dynamic change happens, industries will also suffer a lot. So if one industry is down, they will first cut on the marketing spend, they will cut on the printing spend, but packaging they cannot compromise at all. So just try to have a more projects on the packaging side. 20% every year on industry growth, and this vertical, it's gonna be phenomenal. Now, I guess we have discussed a lot on the why to choose packaging. Now, let's jump into how we can develop the packaging. Let's say what are the procedures and what are the steps we follow, whether you wanted to develop packaging for cosmetic, food, pharma, maybe a Colgate, maybe it's electronic switch, or maybe a TV that's again comes into packaging, the fridge or washing machine which has corrugation packaging, everything, whether it's a lace. So yeah, but we are not going to cover flexible packaging. We'll talk about the corrugation packaging, corrugation or monocarton or rigid boxes. Those lines we will talk right now. Now, we are going to have a very small case study from our client side. Then this is the real case study, what we have developed within our company. Now, one of the clients of ours, and he is into cosmetic industry, and they called us people. I wanted to create and I wanted to have in one box where I wanted to fit these products. Okay, so I wanted to give to all my doctors or cosmetic surgeons and those people. I wanted to give a trial out. Now, I just went there, collected all the bottles that what need to be packed one, and these are many, and this all the bottles need to be packed in one rigid box. Okay, now this is the goal. So we collected. Now we went for the survey that we wanted to, what are the competition? Okay, how their competitors are packing this kind of materials. what are the consumer behaviors, what they are doing of the packaging once they use the product. Okay, try to always try to how the buyers are using the packaging. Do they have any kind of packaging challenge? Do they feel good when they open the packaging? Because nowadays packaging experience is very important. So we go and cross check how the market is, what are the competitors, what number top 3 players are doing, how they are gifting, what kind of paper material and everything they are using. So those check has been done. Okay. Then we went to identify the product needs. So when we go and whether do we need a rigid box or do we need a mono carton or do we need a corrugation box? We need to identify on the third stage. Okay. So we design everything and then we decide that now this is going for the rigid box and or this is going for the mono carton. Then we cannot change the design. That's a waste of time and energy for many people. So first, then we decide that which kind of box category, packaging category we are going. Then we get into the shipping process. Let's say company manufacturer, company pack at their premises, how it's going to get packed, how it's going to, whether they are going to do bulk shipping or they are going to do single shipping. What is the procedure of shipping that packaging along with it? What are the manufacturing need? Does product get spillage? Does products need some kind of specific packaging? Does it come into primary packaging or secondary packaging? When I say primary packaging, that means in terms of the fair and lovely tube, the tube is the primary packaging because it's directly come into the product contact which consumer going to use, and secondary packaging is the box, which is the mono carton. And what quantity going to be manufactured? And that is very important because if you go for, let's say, 5,000 or 15,000 boxes and you propose a rigid box, then the client will start thinking that is there a need of rigid box? So it need to be identified that before you start designing even a single dot. Now then we understood from the client that what is your requirement. Okay, so client, when we went to him, he gave us this kind of structure that I want one black box which we have created within in our office, in their office, and I wanted to put this product into this kind of a line so people can use in one box. This is what my expectation is. So it was okay. We were like okay, let's try to move ahead, and we understood everything. Then we develop, any designer they should start getting developed dimensions. So first, the basic requirement is developing the key line point, or at least they start with the paper that they try to put all the products in the way they wanted to put, and they at least start with one A4 sheet that which kind of opening style I wanted to keep. How the bottle is going to get holded within the box, because bottles cannot move. The packaging experience is very important. Customer or consumer wanted to receive any product the way it has packed in the factory. So whether you are packing a mobile phone, iPhone box, or whether you're packing any cosmetic box or maybe a cream or maybe a switch, customer wanted to open that product in the same form, same direction. It cannot be changed. That's a primary requirement for any packaging box designing. So the cavity has to be developed in such a way, the cavity material has to use in such a way whether you can use foam, paper, board, or maybe some other plastic material, but the product cannot move. And then keeping these things in mind, you need to do the design developments of cavity also. Okay, now this is important. So now you have all the answers. Most of the answer is clear. Okay, how to design, how to pack, how the cavity get developed. This is time where you get in touch with any printing company that what are these papers options we have. Okay, what are the cavity placement options we have? What are the print finishing options we have? So consumer wanted to have a completely unique box which grabs their attention, because, and why this is important, because your products are sold. They are sold 50% when someone sees your packaging, because you go to any retail shop and there are lot many packaging and within the same product category, and you need to grab attention of your target audience or of your client. So for that, packaging is the first visual which they are going to see. So you check with printer what are the paper options, costing, cavity, everything at this stage. Then with printer, this you cannot do it 7 step. You cannot do it alone. Any agency or designer cannot do it alone. You need to give complete design file, keyline drawing files, complete placement of the products, everything to your printer, and ask them to submit one actual dummy with same material. Okay, I'll tell you that actual dummy with same material, at least, or say, and you, so printer what will do, they'll collect all the material from the market or within from their warehouses. They will make one piece specifically just for your product. Now once this is made, you need to check it visually. Okay, you need to check the colors, you need to how the box is looking like, because looks like, and you need to define lot many things at this stage, whether the colors are coming perfect, whether you wanted to use Pantone shade or you wanted to use some other colors, how the visual appeal, how that box will look like when it is going to get in the retail store, or maybe where the product's going to be there. So that 7 step is very important. Okay, check for product safety and regulation. So let's say you are making an ice cream box. Okay, now ice cream, if you're buying a 1 liter or 1.5 liter pack from the market, ice cream comes in direct contact with the paper. So there is a specialized coating inside the box which is made of wax. So there is a wax coating inside the box which save the paper and the ice cream also. So all the food packaging or some other electronic packaging has certain kind of requirements. What regulations you need to put? Now there are regulations that on outer side, if you are selling a food, you need to mention per gram unit cost. If you are selling into pieces, let's say you have 10 colors inside, and 10 colors inside the box, what is the per color cost? So you always see this in the packaging. You need to mention your FSSI rule, FSSI number, your registration numbers, your contact details, what is the where it got manufactured, the origin of the product, everything you need to have it at this stage. Then prepare the print file, and this is kind of product what we have developed. So now I'll just share you over here that this is what client has told her to keep the arrangement like this. Okay, now, and our pre-press team, they worked and they designed. So we used black paper with foiling done on it, which you can see in the first image. The second image which you see, it's a thank you note, and the letter from the company, that what they wanted to communicate before they open the product. So, and the third is how the product placement has been done. So if you see the third picture on the right hand side, see the neatness and cleanness of the product. Even we have done it in such a way that the knob of the opener will always be there in the same direction that how it was packed. We also need to consider that if you see from the first slide, the radius of all the bottles is very different. Okay, so the glass bottle, it is smaller in radius. The white bottle, it is bigger in radius. If you see those on the three jars, those radius are different. So what we have done, okay, so what we have done on the left hand side, those bottles are with the smaller radius. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bottles are with the smaller radius, and the right hand side 3 bottles are with the bigger radius. So we had another cavity at this side of the packaging which can lift the product. So all the products, the top level are at the same height. It does not change. And there was one bottle which was coming up and that came out, and we did a die punching over here. This is how the packaging development happens. So we just don't take products from our clients, or you should not take products from the clients. You have to think it through, and you have to give an experience, deliver an experience to the receiver or to the consumer that they should have a wow feeling. Okay, so this is just one of the example. Okay, I will show two more examples, then we'll have little bit of Q&A for this kind of products. Now this is it's a second large, Somani is the second largest ceramic manufacturing company across India. So Kajaria is number one, Somani is on second. They wanted to have an hand tiles display. They call it handy. Okay, they wanted to have, specifically for the architects, and they wanted to promote two series at the same time, and it can stay vertically on architect's desk, and whenever they wanted to use it, they can pull it easily. So this is how it's a simple solution, but the way it has been presented, the way the foiling, the processes we have selected, the board material, we need to take care, because we need to take care that one handy weight is 5 kg, okay, because tiles has been pasted on it. The another, so there are two handies, so another handy weight is maybe 2.5 to 3 kg. So this is going to get shipped. We need to take care that it does not damage the outer file folder, and it should not break. It has to get shipped in the same way. So we used more rigid kappa board. We changed the lamination thickness also. Lot of things need to be taken care. Now this is the third example. This is the food packaging. Now the left hand side is for the donuts, center one is for the cupcakes, and right side is for the cookies. Now this is for the very premium 5-star hotel chain, Doubletree Hilton. They had a specific requirement that my donuts, it's a very premium, they have very premium cafe. So this rigid box is probably maybe 150 to 200 bucks, but they have a requirement that my donuts or cupcakes topping, the cream, those garnishing does not get damaged when any consumer receive it. Okay, even their cookies are super soft, and cookies does not spill. They should not have breakage during the transport, or when someone receive it and when they put it in the car, and when someone open it, has to get in the same way. And this is the primary packaging. Now we have to prepare all the paper surfaces according to the food packaging requirements. We have to do lamination, plastic film, and everything. We have to use it to make sure that paper does not come direct in contact with the food. Now all the projects are different industry, different verticals. Okay, all the projects has different requirements of the packaging style. So this is black paper, this is all printed with finishing, heavyweight. This is volumetric when food packaging constraint. So different projects, different thinking and different material usage. You cannot have everything you cannot have a similar solution for all kind of product verticals. Now before I move ahead next, I'll just take a little bit of pause and try to get some inputs from your side if you wanted to know anything specific for this 9 points. Okay, because course that there would be a lot of questions in the last, but if you have anything specific to ask.
Shrishti mentions, what is a mono carton?
Okay, if you go and buy a Fair and Lovely or Colgate box, the box which comes with the product, that's a mono carton.
So kind of like a single item in a single box.
Yeah, it's a one just paper box. That's it. It's a thin paper box. So what's it? Flexible printing. So any material which is very flexible, like plastic, you buy Lays, you buy those donuts. No, not donuts. That triangle one. You buy any chips. Okay, that flexible plastic packaging. That's flexible packaging. Waffles. Yeah. So
Sonam is asking, is there any new material or packaging which you have come across recently?
No, actually, this is like he doesn't need to reinvent the tire, right? You go buy Rolls Royce, everything where tire is round, so paper, plastic, and this all kind of materials. That's it.
Well, Yagnesh is asking, what is your favorite?
What is my favorite for what?
Yeah, Yagnesh, like favorite packaging.
My is Apple packaging. I'll tell you why. Okay. Someone is asking that die making and the innovation in this area related to the packaging. Varun is asking that. Okay, just want to know that what is the process to get the desired color we make in the software. That's interesting. Now let's go back to topic. Okay. Now this is the major thing. Parmicha, we are good for the slide.
Yeah, yeah, we are good.
Okay, great. Now, designer gets major challenge, or they get stuck, and they get are so much dependent on the die lines. Okay. Now we always suggest our designer. I'll open one. I have opened one. Okay, yeah. So now you go and check pecdora.com. Okay. Now you have wonderful designing skills, but die line or making a key line drawing for any packaging is really very difficult. Okay, someone most of the time, not most of the time, but we also make mistakes. So here are the at least this website will help you to come to 90%. Okay, now you go to die-line template, you go to folding boxes, you go to tray, you go to tuck in boxes, box, paper bags. Okay, then let's say you wanted to develop this paper bag, then you insert the sizes of those particular paper bags in inch or and just download the die-line, create the design in it, and when you submit this to printer, any printing company will understand you are a pro designer. Okay. They would have not expected you to have the design like this of paper bag get made like this. Generally, designers, how they send paper bag design is just make one rectangle and they forget the spine, they forget the bottom, just make one rectangle and put the design on it. Okay, but that's so you can use it's a maybe 5,000-6,000 bucks a year. Even this gives for the rigid boxes also kind of die lines. Everything is covered on this. So window boxes, storage boxes, sleeves, whatnot, pouches, bottles, jars, tubes, cups, containers. I mean everything. So just one website. So we always suggest our designer, if you need any help into this, you just buy 6,000, and then you to paste this on the material, you need to check, you need to go to your printer for sure. Okay, hope that answers the query of Varun. I'll shift to presentation back. Okay, now what are the current trends? Okay, what are the people are expecting you from you as a designer or as a developer of the any packaging? What things you should keep in mind? Okay, now this is now it's first I would always prefer into current consumer behavior. People are very much conscious, they are very much conscious about eco-friendly, they are very much conscious how brand is saving the environment, what brand is doing to take care of nature. Now this is the one example. Belroy is one of the very premium wallet. They make a lot of things from it's a very premium thing. Now, well, their packaging, it's very simple. Top and bottom box, no rocket science. Plain paper, uncoated plain paper without lamination. When I say without lamination, they do not use plastic on it, okay? Because there is no necessity of it. And they also promote themselves for reusing it, okay? And if you see here, oh, hello there. You have you have stumbled into your secret spot. It's a great place to store coins, receipts, other tidbits, and don't belong in your pockets or downside of your sofa. So they promote reusage. And when brand do this, I receive a great feeling when I received this packaging. I received a great feeling. Wow, this is amazing. And I might not use it, but I'm a packaging guy, so I have kept it for myself. I have kept it for myself, and if some consumers receive it, they would reuse it also. And it's always come in the top of my mind that whenever next time I wanted to buy a wallet, I first think of Belver because I might be using the packaging. It has acquired my mind share with such beautiful and simple packaging.
Sorry to interrupt. I think the screen is stuck at where designers need support. I'm not able to see the Belroy image.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I'll just stop sharing and share it one more time.
Yeah.
Can you see my screen now?
Yeah, it is visible.
Okay, I have to repeat it one more time. So this Belroy, so simple packaging, uncoated paper without the usage of plastic, simple use and simple message. So by having such packaging, you are requesting a customer to keep it with them, and when customer keep it with them, you have already acquired their mind share. Because whenever I think of buying any product or same similar product line, I will always think of what I had before, because Baldo already had my mind share. So eco-friendliness is must. Always. Now there is something someone asked, which is your favorite packaging. So I believe that Apple design amazing products, and they also design amazing packaging also. When you go buy any iPhone, okay, you open that plastic wrapper which is on the top of the box. They use uncoated paper. They do not do lamination. They do not use any kind of plastic at all right now into packaging. And whenever you open that box, you just hold it from the top, okay, and even having that phone weight at the in the bottom area, it does not just come down. That the bottom area does not come down. It just glides very, very slowly. Now that slow gliding has been designed so minutely that to deliver an experience. So this kind of experience wanted to have every consumer wanted to have. And right now there's this, if you see, there social trend which is going in the market. So of unpacking the box, of unpacking the products. Maybe it's an iPhone, it's a Samsung phone, it's a maybe some MI phone or OnePlus phone, but unpacking experiences are going so big in the market, which does a lot of indirect marketing for the products. So even recently, I just came across that Salman Khan just ordered a new watch from the Jacob and Company, maybe some few crores or maybe few lakhs, I don't know, but he was just opening the box and he was showcasing his new watch. Now, it is not important that he bought that watch, but it was the kind of packaging and unboxing experience of that simple wristwatch, not simple, premium wristwatch it is. So that is necessary. Everyone does it. So always try to aim for the experiences. The product has to stay still. It cannot, should not move even by more than 5 mm. You have to design packaging in such a way. Think of even iMac packaging also. It's so solid, so rigid, and gives amazing experience. Now aim for consumer attention. So this is you Google this RX bar story, okay? It was somewhere around the left hand side. It was the first packaging. They did it for 3-4 years, but it was blueberry flavor, okay? So that's why it has blue on the top and the bottom. But that RX bar was doing somewhere around 2 million or 6 million when they had this kind of conventional packaging, and then their agency or designer changed that packaging. Simple, blue color, completely in background because it was blueberry. Then RX bar, small branding, and just ingredients: 3 white eggs, 6 almond, 4 cashew, 2 dates. No BS. So I don't know what BS is, but the simple, powerful communication, simple packaging. And now that packaging grabbed the attention of lot many consumers, and from that change of packaging, there is no change of products, okay? It was the same RX bar what it used to be before, okay? The same RX bar, then it went to somewhere around 600 million, some company. I just read it on Google. I came across before a year, but this is something interesting example where packaging changed the entire brand's cash flow. Okay, so all the best to all of you to design such packaging. Now keep economics in mind. So always designers have aspiration that I want to develop a packaging which is like looks amazing. I'll use texture paper, I'll use this foiling, I'll do this process, will do UV printing, whatnot. They wanted to put all the processes into same packaging. But we should not do that. Okay, why? Because we also need to think on the customer's perspective. If any company is launching a new product, and as of now they have a requirement of 5,000 boxes also. Let's say it's a one electronic products, okay? It's a Bluetooth speaker. So they need 5,000 rigid boxes as of now. But as company grows, their products are solid. And when they need it after maybe 2 years, they need 50,000 boxes. If company will start compromising on the packaging side, consumer perception will change because packaging has deteriorated. Or more than consumer, their dealers, their distributor mindset would change that company has started compromising on the paper. So what ideally a designer should do, they always keep scalability in mind. Okay, what you are doing for the 5,000 quantity, the same way you can do it for the 50,000 quantity. After going to 50,000, companies cannot compromise on the packaging, and same way designers has to take care while designing that. Am I designing something which they can compromise after once they grow? So scalability is something very, very important. Think of the process. Now you see the shape of these two boxes. Okay, now it could be for the bakery, it could be for the food item, it could be for the another product. Now any factory or bakery pack the product in it, or it can be for other product also. Anything got packed in here and it need to be shipped. How someone going to courier this? It is very difficult to courier such shape. It looks so fancy, it looks so fabulous, it looks so attractive in terms of the structure of the box. But such structure are just good visually. But when someone wanted to ship this kind of box structure, it becomes very difficult. So you have to think, designers need to think in a line where manufacturer packs something, they pack the product, that's a primary mono carton, and there's a master carton, which is a big brown corrugation box. How that this product is going to get fit into that? Will it be possible? Will it be easy? Will that move? Because if product will keep moving in the master carton, the product will get damaged. So things of this processes aligned in your mindset. Now this is just the experience that perfection in the printing industry is a myth. I always every day we around print around we have 2 printing machines plus digital and all post-press. So we print around 60 to 70 jobs in 24 hours. But at least 1 or 2 jobs we always have some kind of challenges. So perfection in a printing is always a myth. And I just want to check with Padmaja, do we have, it's a 10, do we have a time right now, or I'll just move on for 5-10 minutes more?
Yeah, I think people are still interested and we do have some quick points. So I think we can still continue.
Yeah, I'll continue then. Thank you.
Yeah.
So perfection in printing industry is just a myth. Nothing can be perfect in, there is a saying that there's nothing which is 100% perfect. It would be true maybe if there's something 99% perfect, in printing it would be 97% perfect, because this is the next example which I wanted to give you. What is the most expensive printing done on the paper? Can I have some answer?
Well, I think it is stuck at the question. The
Okay.
screen is stuck. Yeah, now we can see it. Yeah.
Okay, sorry. So what is the most expensive? Before I share the screen, let's have the answer then. What is the most expensive printing gets done on the paper?
Money.
Yeah, it's just simple. Okay, I'll just share. Okay, you can see my screen now. Okay, so it's currency, right? Now, can you see the screen now, Padmaja? We are good?
Yeah, I think you might have to turn it to full screen.
This-
Yeah.
How about now?
Not yet.
Okay. Sometimes I feel I could have stopped it. So better?
No.
Kind of.
Meanwhile, Sonam is asking if you do print money, though you can definitely send all of us some of it.
Yeah, I won't be doing this webinar only. If I was printing money, why I should waste time over here? I would have any connection. I don't have, and I will not have any social connection. I'll just go on the mountain and live there happily. Okay, you can. It's better now, Padmaja.
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay. Now you can try this anywhere. Okay, this is now the currency printing is the most costliest printing happen on the paper. Just one rectangle of 2 square inches, you're getting $500. I mean, what we are talking, we can print all kind of technology into currency printing, and we just cannot have any kind of problem into printing. Okay, but as I mentioned, the perfection in printing is just a myth. It cannot be perfect. Okay, there is a ways to narrow it down. There is a ways to at least come closer, and that's a bit more technical. We'll not go into this, but you just try with any of your friends. You just bring 500 or 200 or maybe 10 rupee currency note from your pocket and from your friend's pocket, and you just check this. If you see in the right hand side on the top image, top and bottom has a different white space. Now there's a almost 1 mm cutting difference I could see, or this is a picture taken by me. It's a 1 mm cutting difference. In currency printing, if there is a 1 mm cutting difference, in the printing of brochure or packaging, you need to allow a tolerance of 2 mm or 3 mm. Now, this things you have to consider in mind whenever you design anything. You cannot put everything on the edge of any packaging or edge of brochure where things are paper is going to get cut there, and you just ask your printer that I need 2 mm space, so we are not beyond that, not below that. That's not possible. That's not even possible in currency printing. Why you can ask a normal printing company of having such precise cutting? Okay, the same way, if you even, I could not take those picture right now in this slide, but there are color variations also there. Even if you compare 500 rupees note, you compare this green color, which is half circle. Okay, you compare this green color with any other currency note and the other currency note, other 500 currency notes, but you always see the difference. So printing is always has lot many challenges. There are ways to narrow it down. You have to understand technically. We have to keep our mindset open for a lot of errors. You have to stay awake whether when it goes from the printing on printing machine, you might get some errors, so you need to stop printing at that point in time. So always be prepared. Okay, what are the pros and cons of the printing industry? Now let's talk about cons first. It's a very high capex industry, and that's if I talk about any printing industry, specifically offset printing, web offset, gravure, and flexo printing. These are very high capacity investment. You need to invest a lot in the machines. Those all are imported. Those you need to bring it from you need to bring it from Japan or Germany and China. And one machine just cannot do everything. So you have to have many machines, high capex. Raw material cost is high. So whatever we print, almost 60 to 70% goes for the paper investment. Okay, if you are paying me 100 rupees for one brochure, out of those 100 rupees, 60 rupees would go to paper vendor. Yes, it's highly technical, so you have to take a lot of things. You have to have many skilled person, manpower. So good team members are the necessary for this industry. That's to say, a lot many industry and lot many companies, but here you need skilled person. Logistic issues. So transportation costs are very high. So if I'm in Gujarat and I wanted to ship to Delhi or Noida or maybe Assam, I cannot do that. I need to have another unit on those vicinity, and where I can cater to those kind of in that area. New technology, it comes every 4 to 5 years, and again new technology comes. You might not necessarily need to invest, but you always have an aspiration to have those machines. Now, and the last is the digital machines comes with the end of life norms. Okay, now this is a kind of not so good for the printing industry. The new, which is booming, digital offset printing machine, those machines comes with the lifespan of 7 to 8 years. That means the way Apple does. So Apple keep a product life cycle of 7 to 8 years, that after 7 to 8 years, they stop updating softwares of iPhone, they stop updating softwares of Mac. Similarly, companies like you invest crore of rupees in digital printing machine or few lakhs of rupees, companies would stop serving or giving you parts after 7 8 years. That's very bad part for printing industry. What are pros of this industry is like you can cater to multiple industries, and this is I feel is the best part. What I mean by this, so let's take any manufacturing company. Okay, you are setting up any manufacturing plant, and you can, let's say some forging plant or some metal plant. Okay, now those plant can cater to particular industry. Let someone is making a parts for the motors. Okay, now that manufacturing industry will do just motor part manufacturing only, and that is just one product. But that can serve to particular industry. For let's say metal motors, it's a one part. You cannot cater the same plant with different and cater to different industry. But in paper packaging, you can have many options. You can serve to pharma, you can serve to food packaging, you can serve to electronics packaging, you can serve to cosmetic industries. There are many options where they need packaging. You can serve to ceramic. Tiles does not get delivered without without corrugation packaging. So even fridge, even TV. So packaging has used everywhere. It has constant workflow if you work into packaging, because as product goes continuously in the market, so you get constant workflow into this industry. Sustainability is a big advantage right now from last 4 5 years, as plastic ban has happened. So a lot of people, even in all the malls you go, all they're from plastic bag, they are shifted to paper bags. Okay, and this is just the beginning. So because of this sustainability environment, and paper is so easy to recycle, because there was a one article where I don't know, but you at least save 70% of the cost when, you save 70% of the cost when you recycle paper rather than having the fresh paper. So recycle and paper recycling is much more higher than the plastic recycling. So that's a huge advantage because of the plastic ban. Consumers behavior is changing because a lot of consumers are thinking environment friendly. They are so conscious about environment and giving back to nature. So, and there's a huge opportunity. Export opportunities are coming in because of the China, the things are going on between the worldwide. These are the pros of the industry. So if anyone wanted to have an get into this industry and have good deep pockets, definitely they should think of having it. And these are just the what we do is, since it's already 10:15, and these are just errors which I'll just walk through this. There are total 10 or 11 mistakes where we find this 11 mistakes are the 80% mistake when we receive the file from designers or any company. Okay, these are the 80% mistake. If designer take care of this, it is easily people will consider you a pro designer. Okay, first, missing fonts. Always package your design file with all the fonts embedded or included separately. Always give font files. Do not expect the printer will have all the font files. Not giving complete print specification. Let's say you wanted to do foiling, texture, whatever. Always have clearly mentioned that what processes need to be done and what quantity need to be printed, how many packing of brochures or boxes you want in one master carton. Everything need to be defined very well along with your file, not proofreading. Now this is very simple. In Corel Draw and InDesign, you have a separate library which you can create it for one specific file, or for the generic, you can create your generic dictionary. So, and you type a lot, probably designers type a lot, and just spell check, just proofreading is very much necessary, and you can do this automatically. In InDesign there is an option edit spelling, and you can dynamic spelling, you can check the dictionary also. In Corel Draw there is the same possibility there. Incorrect design file dimension. So recently we had one laminate catalog which we need to print. We received, and when we gave quotation to client, the file was 13-inch by 13-inch. The specification was 13 by 13, and we received file from client from designer of 26 by 26-inch, almost double. I don't know why designer does it sometimes, but yeah, we need, please design it in a way where as per the specification. Design software version mismatch, very common. I'll skip this part for now. Okay, converting colors, because from RGB to CMYK, so people would probably know a lot many things, that all the digital screen what we see, those are into RGB format, means red, green, blue. So the output comes from the digital screen. It's because of the RGB color format, and whatever we print, it always comes into CMYK format. So the both color language is different. You need to convert your RGB files into CMYK, RGB colors into CMYK colors to at least to print. Otherwise, color would go haywire. Okay, this is the minimum 3 blade, whether you are designing a packaging or with designing any box or designing a brochure, catalog, or whatever. You need to have a 3 blade. We have mentioned Pantone codes. I won't deep dive much as of now, but yeah, someone can email me, I can explain this. Low resolution files, how the image looks into lower DPI. Now this is safe area. This is very important. Okay, as we discussed before, that you need to have some margin, some cushioning, where your text or your your content should end at one, let's say 5 mm away the edge. So where the cutting is happening, okay, below 5 mm, your text should not go beyond this maroon line. Keep this as a safe area. Okay, you need to at least 5 mm margin for this, and then crop mark. So you're always safe. This is just last flattening the transparencies because the shadow change, image dynamics change, the gradient changes if you does not do this. This is all I can do. Yeah, that's Padmaja. Over to you. Let me, and this is your part. Join your design community.
Yeah, I'll let Sonam introduce Evolve and take up this part.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much, Dipal, for this session. Guys, we still have a lot of questions. Like a lot of you have asked some questions, so we'll cover that. But just before that, what we have here is that if you really like this session that we've got, do scan join our communities. We have a lot of webinars that we want to do and teach you things that you generally don't learn, maybe in school or colleges, and just bring out more and more things like this. So if you want to be updated, do join the community. We're here to empower you and teach you things that you might not learn, in formal education setting. That's what Evolve is here to do. Also, the last things that Bipal mentioned, after we have the webinar and we send you the recordings, we will also have some sort of a challenge for you, wherein you can take the quiz and see if you have learned things from this session also. So yeah, do join in and we will see you on the community side as well.
So okay, I'm here for the question and answer. If you have anything, do let me know. I'm here. I can definitely answer. I'm really thankful to every one of you for listening me out, hear me out. I'm always available over the email. Let me know if I could be any help. And I always say this to all my friends and family or clients, not family, but clients, that if you stuck somewhere related to printing, just mail me. I can definitely help you out. We are a team of person who always believe in helping out. We do not believe that you check with us and print with us. No, you are stuck somewhere. If you need someone some help, let me know. I'll just give you resources even on one single email or one single call. So that's all about me. Let me know if any question I need to answer.
Yeah, I think we do have a few questions. Some of them, they were also in between the spaces. So I'll just start and moderate a few.
Yeah, please do that.
So that was like after we came and covered the whole backdoor slides and aspects. So from there, we have collected all of those questions.
Okay.
So we have a Designify who's asking that, do you have any advice for someone who has maybe just started out in packaging design?
Yeah, go to retail shop. Go to retail shop, go to electronic shop, observe the packaging, how they are packing the things. Okay. How you receive in box, what's the outer feeling, how the presentation is. At least that will give you a perspective of designing it. Then later on, once you figure this out, later on you will figure out how to create a structure of the packaging. That's altogether a different thing. But first, have an experience of the packaging first, and then do it by yourself first, and then you learn. So mainly the experience will teach you a lot in packaging.
Nice. I think that goes for all the fields, but like because there are like physical products, so we are always kind of very much used to going and viewing everything first.
Yeah.
Cool. We have another question from Shrishti. So this was also around when you were talking about the die lines, kind of the measurements and everything. So her question is regarding a specific issue that if there's a 4-side glass bottle for oil. So let's say while designing a label, if it's, let's say, a curved surface, so how do you measure and even create the die lines for those?
Okay, Shrishti. So she's talking about, if I understood correctly, she's talking about the curved, the round edges, which is the 4 corners. Okay. Now those that you doesn't need to measure. If you go for mass production of the labels, that's a standard die format. Okay. So you doesn't need to give that into that round format. That's a standard die format for all the label printers. So if you choose a good label printing company, then that comes automatically. So I do not have any specific measurement for that, but you just need to pick the right label printing company.
Yeah, so all of the folks who have kind of dropped in their questions, you can also feel free to unmute yourselves, jump in, and even confirm if you've kind of answered those. We also have one more question from Saurabh, if I'm understanding it correctly. So, if is the distance ever a problem between, let's say, the printing company or let's say where the clients are at, or is there any best way to handle it as well?
So if your Saurabh is talking about the delivery things, let's say if I'm sitting in Gujarat and I want to deliver a packaging thing in Kolkata, yes, then it's a challenge. Distance is a problem for sure because the shipping cost is much higher for delivering printing goods because it's not volumetric, it's in weight. So shipping cost is a challenge. That's why a great packaging companies have a multi-location manufacturing hub. So one company has in Gujarat, and so the same company will have it in Assam, Delhi, Gurgaon, and Delhi area, and those vicinity. In nearby Hyderabad, they'll have manufacturing plant. So after a certain level, for a packaging and printing company, if they wanted to grow after a certain level, okay, let's say after 50 crore, 60 crore of turnover, if they wanted to grow, then the multi-location production hub is the only growth story they can opt for. Okay, mostly then it also depends on viewing distance. No, so mostly okay, that's advising with this packaging design. That's a very interesting question. That how can we ensure that the measurement in my digital packaging design transfer actually in the print file, considering the challenges like print margins, bleeds, and die lines. Okay, now design and this that's why printers and designer into packaging segment always work hand in hand. Okay, and you also need to have at least 1 to 2 mm margin for your product. So it cannot be just perfect. 1 to 2 mm tolerance you need to allow. So it's not gonna be perfect, but 2 mm margin is a good bet to go for any packaging design. Okay, I tried this thing and so part didn't work.
Yeah, that was just like an internal banter, I think, which was happening.
Okay.
With-
And then compare.
Yeah, I think Vinesh has a question that with Adobe now restricting Pantone shade name and access due to licensing limitations, how essential is Pantone matching in today's design workflows? If there are any alternate methods which you would recommend?
So Pantone matching, so there are Pantone codes for different materials. So if we talk about our industry, you have Pantone shade cards for coated papers and uncoated papers. Okay. Now you need to choose the paper, and as per ISO standards, there's a delta 5 variation. So that's a bit technical, but yeah, there's a delta 5 variation where you can go to that much closer to that Pantone color. So you select, let's say Vinesh has selected 1, 2, 3, 4 as a Pantone color to print. We order the same color from our ink vendor, okay, and that Pantone code actual and the our resource will have very less variation of delta 5, and delta is the variation, the color difference between the two comparisons. That's it. So I feel I have not answered it perfectly the way Vinesh can understand, but this answer can be more perfect over face-to-face meeting. That would be better.
Yeah, we'll definitely come for that.
Yeah, we'll have a coffee together.
Yeah. We just have like a few more questions to go. So one question we have from Adya is that now with emerging trends such as glass morphisms and other ones which you see in digital interfaces, so which are kind of more in terms of translucent and layered aesthetics. So do you see any of that impact coming into physical world applications such as printing or packaging, or more like a crossover of both?
No, I didn't understood the question. I'm sorry, Padmaja.
So what Adya is mentioning, because if specifically if we talk about glass morphism and other trends, right? So they're like kind of digital trends which happens. So let's say, for example, Apple just came with the liquid glass effect, right? Just recently.
Mhm.
So that's a new trend which is more from the interface perspective.
Right.
And so do you see any of that kind of falling into physical products or mediums in terms of how the packaging could be updated, or new trends in packaging coming in sooner or later?
So it's a design philosophy, which I would say it's a design language. Is it correct, Padmaja? If I understood correctly?
Yeah, in a way.
Yeah, so those design language are always keep changing, So let's say any consumer centric company will always follow a color trend. Okay, now let's say Pantone always roll out every year, they roll out color of the year. Okay, now companies would start following those colors into their product line. You suddenly see a spark of those color products or those printed catalog, those Pantone shade higher. So every year it keeps changing. But one thing is happening for sure in last 2 3 years that people are moving toward minimalist design. Earlier we were seeing the lot many colors, lot many printing is were getting consumed, but now it's getting printing, but we are saving lot on the inks. But that's why, yeah, but inks are very minimalistic design. That is something is a new approach for a lot many people.
Yep. So we have one more question from Shrishti. So she's mentioning, why is print industry still not moved away from Corel as a software yet? Like, is that going to be there like for a long duration, or is there any issue when there are some designs which are done in Illustrator as a tool?
Okay, good question. Again, I'm not expert for this, but yeah, Corel is just gets used in India. If you receive any file from the outside India or any Asian countries with it, or European or US country, you always receive InDesign or Illustrator file. PDF is the go-to file for all the print files. So PDF is the best print file you can submit to your printer. Even let's say you have created one design. Okay, we have experiences and we have checked this on the presses. Okay, you created one design, same rectangle or some design. Okay, same color percentage. You're creating Adobe InDesign, the same one into Corel Draw. You done the export of those file into PDF, and then we printed it. The color output of Adobe files are much more better than the Corel Draw files. So the color conversion mechanism is much better in Adobe softwares. So if people opt for the Corel Draw, it's much better if they can, and it's much more simple software. But yeah, and let's say earlier, let's say we received, let's say 25 files in a day, okay, or 20 files in a day. Out of them, 21 were from the corridor. But now it's changing. Now we are receiving like 15 from the corridor, 10 from InDesign or Illustrator or PDF file. So things are changing in a good way for sure.
Yeah, there would definitely be like a new trend coming in soon.
Maybe we receive a Canva compatible format also in future.
Cool. I think we have just like two more questions if you still have like 5 minutes.
I do have, please.
Cool. So one other question from Danish is, how can gradients be handled in printing? Also, is 3D printing being used in packaging, for example, maybe for rapid prototyping or mock-ups?
No. See, okay. So two questions. Gradation, I'm not aware of because I'm not a designer. I know how to run a printing company, but don't know how to run a software. So sorry for that. So and 3D printing, we do not use it. It's mainly for the manufacturing side, not at this kind of 3D printing.
Cool. We have one more question from Saurabh. He's mentioning that he's joining his dad's business, which is offset printing. So any guide or any crucial points which you have for him to keep in mind, and maybe some common mistakes which people should avoid early on in the industry?
How long, before I answer that, I just want to know, you deal into which, let's say it's a commercial printing or offset printing. I want to know that, and from how many years or how many months you're going to that business, and if it's for.
Yeah, I'm just checking if Saurabh is still online.
Okay. But I'll
Yeah, we just have an answer from him. Been in for 20 years. Like his father has been in here for 20 years.
So when I entered in business in 2009 or 10, I first worked on the shop floor. At least for 1 year, next 1 year, I always used to go to machines that how printing is happening, what dot gain is, what I understood all the technical it is. When I was not running the machine, but I would know all the technical aspects, how to get the better color, how to get the better color corrections, how to get the faster output. That's what I knew. So first 1 to 2 years, you need to learn that very go deep into all this thing, and then you can start building upon the sales and managing the printing operation. And then I feel in printing operation, machines are like white elephants. Okay, you have to continuously feed them. You so any promoter of printing company should always work on the sales side for sure. Okay, for operation side, they need to have a very great team to manage. But if you take care of the sales sides, that that can cover lot many problems for you, solve lot many problems for you guys. Okay,
Cool.
so
I think we have one last question for the day. Otherwise, we'll just keep you on board here all the time. So one last question we have from Vikas is he has a question about metallic substrate print. So Vikas, if you're around, you can have the stage. Is there any specific?
surface substrate print. So what I understood, if Vikas is not replying, then what I understood that he wanted to print. So metallic substrates are the substrate which are paper is an absorbent surface. So paper absorb the ink when they get prints and it gets dried. When metallic substrate need to be printed, it cannot absorb the ink. So when it cannot absorb the ink, it does not dry. That's why for metallic substrate there is a specific called UV printing. What happens in UV? So the inks are everything's going to remain same, but at the end of the press, there are UV lights. So because of that UV lights and because of the combination of the ink, the chemical process happens and it immediately gets dried. Inks immediately gets dry on the surface. So you need to do so if you want to print any metallized surface, that's a silver metallized surface or plastic sheets, that's need to be print through UV printing only.
We have one more. It is the new upcoming trend or technology which you see as the future of printing.
Everything related around packaging that will keep coming. All innovation will keep around packaging only. It's a food packaging, it's a pharma packaging, everything around packaging.
Cool. One last question. Like, what exactly are slugs and are they really important?
I don't know what is slugs. Sorry, I don't know everything. So, but yeah, Vikas has one last question. But this is last one, Vikas. Please.
Yeah, Vikas.
हेलो गुड इवनिंग सर
Hi, Vikas.
सर मुझे एक क्वेश्चन जैसे हम मेटालिक पे प्रिंट करते हैं मल्टीपल साइज बॉक्सेस होते हैं तो उसमें कलर का बहुत ज्यादा डिफरेंस आता है
Yes. So, okay, ये चीज है ना, कलर का डिफरेंस बहुत चीजों पे वेरी करता है. Okay. Now let's say, how is your printing machine? Printing machine कितना updated? How it is maintained? Number one. Number two, how is the printer? How printer can control it? Okay. And number three, अगर वेरिएशन ज्यादा आता है, अगर आप यानी CMYK से प्रिंट होता है, साइन मैजेंटा येलो ब्लैक से प्रिंट होता है, अगर चारों के चारों कलर की स्क्रीन या से हर एक कलर 50-50-50 है, तो आपको वो वेरिएशन और भी ज्यादा आएगा, बिकॉज चार कलर्स को कंट्रोल करना डिफिकल्ट है. सो उसका आंसर एक स्ट्रेट वन लाइन में नहीं होगा, बट देयर आर 2-3 ways how you can narrow it down. And if you have, अगर आपको ज्यादा ही कलर की वेरिएशन, गो फॉर पेंटोन कलर. हो सकता है तो उसमें जो भी 60-70% ऑफ द कलर पोर्शन है, जो कलर सबसे ज्यादा दिखता है, वो आप पेंटोन कलर में उसको कन्वर्ट कर दो. दैट वुड बी बेटर. So Varun has a question. Print can include sense, how it actually gets done. So sense those fragrances. So after printing, people do screen print. So it's a screen printing process with fragrance. So after printing, you just need to do screen printing and it gets scented, or chemical coating, which is possible. So there are 2 ways to do it.
Cool. I think we should be good for today.
Yes,
Otherwise, we'll have like a very night, noon, all day session.
definitely.
Yeah, so thank you, Dwipal, first of all, like this amazing presentation, amazing content, and your energy. I know like people had a lot of questions and we are like way over like good extra amount of time. But I think all of us love to stay here and we have a lot of knowledge. Yep.
Yeah.
So thanks everyone for even participating in this webinar and even staying up this late. We'll definitely share you all the recordings, some of the resources also, which Dwipal shared, and he is going to share some more of them. So stay tuned for that. And let's see you in next 2 months.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
If you enjoyed this video, then give it a like. Got questions or just want to say hi? Drop a comment. We love to interact with you guys. And don't forget to subscribe for more creative deep dives. By the way, for more creative conversations, scan the QR to join our WhatsApp and Discord communities. Keep exploring, keep evolving.